The song Ain't Nobody Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around is a song about the civil rights movement in Birmingham, Alabama, and about the bombings of the 16th Street Baptist Church. This was a favorite song of the children who would sing as they would gather at the church and prepare to face dogs and hoses on the streets. Birmingham was a center of the civil rights movement where Dr. King and the SCLC organized many protests. The police chief, Eugene Connor, did not hesitate to unleash dogs and hoses on the protests. His tactics backfired as the country saw the police brutality on these children. This song emulates the struggle that African Americans went through and how their courage eventually led to freedom. Here is an excerpt from the song. Ballad of Medgar by Phil Ochs and Bob Gibson was a song about the murder of Medgar Evers. Evers was a field secretary for the NAACP in Jackson, Mississippi. He wanted to have a meeting with the local mayor to discuss racial inequality. When the mayor refused, Evers led sit-ins and protests. Many African Americans were arrested and organized efforts were shut down. Evers was shot while stepping out of his car by Byron D. Beckwith. Beckwith was not found guilty of murder until 1994, 31 years after the murder. Two white juries did not, or more or less did not want to find Beckwith guilty of the murder. This song exhibits how the Constitution did not protect the rights of African Americans, and many murders were left unsolved because it was a white man killing a black man. Here's an excerpt from the song.
In the state of Mississippi, many years ago, a boy of 14 years got a taste of Southern law. He saw his friend a-hangin', his color was his crime, and the blood upon his jacket put a brand upon his mind. Too many martyrs.
Hold On was a song about the Montgomery bus boycotts. This was the start of the civil rights movement. African Americans refused to ride on public transportation as a protest against segregation and second-class treatment on city buses. This was sparked by the arrest of Rosa Parks, who refused to move from her seat in the front of a bus so a white man could sit down. This song was popularized as motivation for African Americans who walked on tired feet for over a year. This song displays the courage and motivation of the civil rights movement. Here is an excerpt from the song.
Paul and Silas are bound in jail, had no money for to go their bail. Keep your eyes on that prize, hold on, hold on.
The song The Death of Emmett Till by Bob Dylan retells the story of a young black boy who was taken from his home and murdered for just talking with a man's wife. The boy was brutally tortured and almost unrecognizable when he was found. What makes it worse is the men who did this were not ever convicted of any crimes. We picked this song because it shows the harsh truth of how African Americans were treated during this time period. This was also a significant event in the civil rights movement as the death of Emmett Till sparked protests and outrage around the country.
Was down in Mississippi not so long ago when a young boy from Chicago town walked in a southern door.
This song was derived from an old gospel song called I Woke Up This Morning with My Mind Stayed on Jesus. When more than 250 freedom riders spent 40 days in a Mississippi jail, this song helped remind them what they were fighting for during this rough time period. The lyrics are catchy and simple, so it was easy for the freedom riders to remember and sing this song while they were in jail. We picked this song because it's an example of how African Americans used music in order to keep their spirits up during the civil rights movement.
I woke up this morning with my mind. It was stay on freedom. Oh, well, I woke up this morning with my mind. My mind, it was stay on freedom. I woke up this morning.